Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P0462 code indicates an issue with the fuel level sensor, specifically referring to the fuel gauge sending unit circuit exhibiting low voltage. This error is stored in the powertrain control module, PCM, when the sensor detects an output voltage lower than a predetermined value, suggesting a malfunction within the fuel level sensing system. The fuel level sensor is integrated with the fuel tank unit and plays a crucial role in providing accurate fuel level information to the vehicle's gauge control module. The optimal functioning of the fuel gauge system is vital for ensuring that the driver is aware of the fuel status at all times, thus preventing unexpected depletion of fuel. The gauge control module interprets this data and relays it to the dashboard display. Diagnosing this DTC involves systematic testing of various components to pinpoint the source of the low voltage reading. The DTC P0462 specifically identifies an issue with the fuel gauge sending unit circuit, often referred to as the fuel level sensor. This sensor measures the fuel level within the tank and sends that information to the gauge control module, which then displays it on the dashboard. The sensor is located within the fuel tank unit, making it integral to the fuel management system. If the fuel level sensor operates below a certain voltage threshold, the powertrain control module, PCM, flags this as a significant fault and stores the DTC. The gauge control module acts accordingly by either illuminating a warning light or providing inaccurate fuel level readings. Addressing this issue typically involves inspecting the fuel gauge sending unit and examining the associated electrical circuits for faults. Proper diagnosis and repair will ensure that accurate fuel level readings are restored. Several potential causes can trigger the DTC P0462. One possibility is a faulty fuel gauge sending unit, which may not provide the correct voltage output due to wear or internal defects. Another cause could be a shorted external circuit, which would affect the electrical path leading to the sending unit or the gauge control module. Structural damage, loose connections, or corrosion in the wiring can lead to short circuits that compromise the flow of electricity necessary for proper operation. Additionally, a malfunctioning gauge control module can also contribute to this DTC, as it processes the signals received from the fuel gauge sending unit. Diagnosing these causes systematically is necessary for accurate troubleshooting. A thorough inspection can effectively identify the faulty components before replacement. The symptoms associated with DTC P0462 can significantly impact the driver's experience. One of the most noticeable signs is inaccurate fuel gauge readings, which can mislead drivers about the actual fuel level in the tank. This can lead to unexpected runouts and may result in inconvenience or even dangerous conditions on the road. In some instances, a persistent fuel warning light may illuminate, indicating a potential malfunction in the fuel system. These alerts are critical for ensuring the vehicle operates efficiently and safely. Additionally, if the gauge control module malfunction leads to poor signal transmission, it may indirectly affect engine performance, as the engine control system relies on accurate data from various sensors to function optimally. Addressing these symptoms promptly is crucial to prevent further complications. The initial troubleshooting step for diagnosing DTC P0462 involves turning the vehicle's ignition to the on mode and permitting the system to stabilize for 30 seconds. This time allows the various components, such as the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module, to initialize and provide accurate readings. After this period, focus on inspecting the fuel gauge sending unit to determine its operational status. Using a multimeter You can measure voltage output and compare it against the specifications to identify any abnormalities. An output reading below the recommended voltage would confirm that the sending unit is malfunctioning. This primary diagnostic step is critical for establishing a baseline before proceeding with a more detailed examination of the electrical circuits involved. The second troubleshooting step centers on inspecting the external circuit associated with the fuel gauge sending unit. This involves evaluating the wiring and connectors leading to both the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module. Carefully check for signs of shorted wires or damaged insulation, which could lead to incorrect voltage readings. If the fuel gauge plus wire is shorted to ground or exhibits a break, it can disrupt the communication protocol between the sending unit and the PCM. A systematic inspection using a multimeter to check continuity will help identify any shorts or breaks. This step is critical. Addressing wiring issues can often resolve the DTC P0462 without needing to replace more costly components. The final troubleshooting step requires a thorough inspection of the gauge control module itself. Assuming prior inspections indicated that the fuel gauge sending unit and external circuits are functioning correctly, the gauge control module might be the root cause of the issues. This module processes the signals received from the fuel gauge sending unit and subsequently controls the dashboard display. Using diagnostic tools, conduct tests to ensure that the gauge control module operates within normal conditions. If it is determined that this module fails to meet specifications, replacement may be necessary. Proper testing ensures that all components align accurately, thus facilitating the resolution of the DTC P0462 in an effective manner. Once repairs have been conducted, the next essential step is to verify that the problem has been fully resolved. Start by clearing the DTC P0462 from the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, using a diagnostic scanner. Following this, it is imperative to conduct a test drive under various conditions to observe for any reoccurrence of the error code. The aim is to confirm that the fuel gauge displays accurate readings and that no warning lights illuminate unexpectedly. Successful completion of this process indicates that the issue causing the low voltage has been effectively addressed. Monitoring the performance during the test drive gives essential feedback on the durability of the fix. Ensuring complete resolution of the DTC not only preserves the vehicle's operational integrity, but also enhances overall driving experience. Preventive maintenance is key to avoiding future occurrences of DTC P0462 and ensuring the overall reliability of the fuel system. One effective approach is to regularly inspect the entire fuel system, including the fuel gauge sending unit and its associated wiring. Look for any signs of wear or damage, as these can lead to malfunctions over time. Additionally, ensure that all electrical connections are secure and free from corrosion, which can impede performance. It is also advisable to keep the fuel tank at an appropriate level rather than allowing it to run excessively low, as this may put extra strain on the fuel level sensor. Implementing these prevention strategies will help in prolonging the lifespan of the fuel level sensing system and reduce the likelihood of encountering DTC P0462 in the future. In summary, the DTC P0462 highlights issues related to low voltage in the fuel level sensor circuit within the 2022 Honda Civic. Thorough understanding of the components involved, such as the fuel gauge sending unit and gauge control module, is crucial for effective troubleshooting. The systematic approach to diagnosis outlined in this guide, including verification through test drives, ensures that issues are accurately identified and resolved. Moreover, Integrating preventive maintenance practices can significantly reduce the risks of future occurrences and maintain the reliability of the vehicle. Staying proactive in inspecting these components and promptly addressing any detected issues can result in a more efficient driving experience, ultimately safeguarding the vehicle's functionality and safety. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.